Today, we're taking a look at one of Marvel's most unique and often overlooked mutants, Guido Carcerella, better known as Strong Guy, a character with humor, heart, incredible strengths, and surprisingly tragic backstory. He's been a major player in the X Factor, crossed into TV animation, appeared across different comic eras, and yes, he's had his share of action figures along the way. He's not that known, so let's dig in. Strong Guy first appeared in Mutants number 29 in 1985, created by writer Chris Claremont and artist Bill Schnitzwick. Yeah, I don't know that. His real name is Guido Castorella, a kid from New York who grew up dealing with bullying, loneliness, and a body that never quit seemed to fit his personality or his heart. As a kid, Guido was injured by an accidental blast of kinetic energy from a bus crash. This trauma triggered his loyal and mutant abilities that would come back to haunt or help him. We'll find out. Here's the catch. Every time he absorbs his kinetic energy, his muscle grows, but not evenly. The result in his iconic, extravagant, and extraordinary, heavily distorted body shape. And unlike many Marvel heroes, his condition hurts constantly. Where Guido really shined is during the Peter David run of X Factor starting in the early 90s. He became the bodyguard of pop star mutant Leela Shaney, but eventually joined the government-sponsored version of X Factor. The team roster included Havoc, Polaris, Multiple Man, Wolfsbane, Quicksilver, and of course, Strong Guy. Strong Guy is the comic relief, cracking jokes, keeping the team's spirits up, but his humor hides his chronic pain and deep insecurities. His name, yes, he chose Strong Guy intentionally as a joke. He wanted something absurd and blunt, but underneath the humor is a character who is constantly battling his own physical suffering and emotional detachment. All right, a little history about Strong Guy. This is my Strong Guy. The Build-A-Figure and the new one coming out looks fantastic in the Marvel Legends line. This was my guy. If you put him up against another figure, he does have the girth, doesn't have the height, but neither did Juggernaut or Nick, neither did anybody else. You're going to see Morphin, one of these, coming up soon. If you take a look at the small head looks great. The X Factor yellow, and he had the... I mean, he'd come at you. Had some leg articulation. I don't know. Were you a big fan of Strong Guy? Because I sure was. Build-A-Figures, I always hated. Because typically, Build-A-Figures, to get the right arm, you had to buy some character that you never knew. Or the left arm was a repaint of this and that. Marvel Legends are awesome, and I'm not knocking it. But I would like to have purchased. I would have paid the price. Just, I don't necessarily want to buy all of them. So for this one here, in all of its glory, X Factor just looks great. I mean, if you put him in with Shatterstar, they just look like they're ready to go. Also, Fangman back here, he's been in a lot of videos lately. We gotta get his history done here soon. No, excuse me. But the history of him, it comes a long way. Strong Guy is great. This figure is awesome. I don't know. You tell me about Strong Guy. Do you think it's a good figure? Do you not think it's a good figure? I think being 20-something years old, almost 30 years. Actually, it is. No, it's almost 30. No, it is 30 years old. I think for it being a 30-year-old figure, it's pretty cool. Let's get back to some history and comic book knowledge of this dude. His power is kinetic energy absorption. Hit him hard and it gets him stronger, but the energy has to go somewhere and Guido's body stores it unevenly. If it doesn't release the energy quickly, his physical form becomes more distorted and dangerous to himself. The condition is permanent, leaving him in a state of constant discomfort. His relationship with Leela Shaney, which adds heart and emotional depth to the character. His X Factor intervention era, where Guido becomes a darker, more moral complicated figure. I didn't like that character, if you'll be honest with you. He even becomes the ruler of hell for a time. Yes, that really happened. Another story that's But really where people got to know him was the X-Men animated series and his cameo. Strong Guy hasn't got a lot of stream time during that, but he did appear in the animated series. very quickly, as you could see in some of the pictures on here, and the X-Men video game mainly as a background or roster mention. He's not yet appeared in a live-action film, but with the X-Men entering the MCUs, there's potential, and frankly, I think he'd look awesome on the big screen. As far as toys, we touched those. He had a Toy Biz figure, and Marvel Legends is finally doing a Build-A-Figure, and he's got a new one coming out that looks awesome. Can't wait to get a hold of it. This is a rare Marvel figure because he has humor and tragedy, power and vulnerability, and confidence and insecurity, which is something that doesn't happen in these characters, which is quite awesome. So what do you think? Should Strong Guy get a starring role in a future MCU movie? I think so, but I'm biased. Which X Factor team do you want to see on screen? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy this deep dive into mutant history, hit that like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Marvel character breakdowns. Until next time, peace out, home skillets.